you.
Distinguished guests, Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to bless the colonels. Just for, I think our children and those who are not Nigerians, who are not familiar with the ceremony, it is a very important ceremony which is performed during a gathering. It precedes any event, whether it is an event as we are having today, or a family gathering, or a wedding, or christening. It's a very important part of our tradition. Also, some people have it as a beverage, and some part of the country where it's eaten very much. But importantly, it's purely used to welcome everybody in an occasion of this nature, and to say that we are going to have this occasion peacefully and be united as well. Go too much into the history, but to recognize our leaders in terms of tradition, I will ask our leaders and titled people who are here to I'll also present this to them, for them to see that there is something here on the table. Can I recognize Prince Oka? Are you here? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask Prince Oka to come and bless the colonels. I'm going to take a piece, and I'm going to ask Prince Oka to bless the colonels, and at the end we're going to break it up and then make sure we share it for everybody. Prince Oka.
Chief Angus, Chukwemeka, thank you. David, thank you. Akeju, thank you. And everybody here. We are here to say God should give us peace, unity, and progress. Let us eat this kola nut, and let us hope and have the faith that it will nourish us, and it will make our children to know that we have a tradition in Nigeria, and anybody here, every child here eating this, ask your parents to take you to Nigeria so that you go and see where this grows. We thank God, and we are praying that the unity we are asking for, that is already here. You will not know, it's not an easy thing, what our forefathers did when they said no dogs, no blacks, no Irish. No Irish. So that was the motive that made our parents to say, let us have our own club. And the seamen, Elder Dempster Lion and the rest of them, we thank you for giving us that unity. I must have to thank lastly Angus Chukwemeka, who built this place with the help of his committee, and most of us who are here, who are still here from the 1980s till now. We thank God for that.
I like to be educated.
I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed when we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up.
He says cutting of the cake, but we will come back to that in a jiffy. I think this session would help us. So I'm going to welcome Mr. Francis to give us the information. Can we put our hands together for...
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Francis Niba, and this is the second Francis Langley. He's from Sierra Leone, I'm from Cameroon. We have two short projects that we are going to present to you. One of them is about climate. We all know what the climate is doing to all of us. It's causing loads of problems. And there are things that individually we can do to reduce damage that the climate is going to, or is causing to everybody. And we have some short videos. There are about 3 of them that we are going to play. They are really short. I think the longest one is 5 minutes. And Francis is going to talk briefly about that. The second project that is really very important, which is why this is actually happening, is about energy bills and all these problems that we are all facing today because of the rising hikes in energy bills. Following the project, we are going to be advising people going to their houses and looking at their controls, their electricity bills, and helping them. A lot of people don't understand that. If you are receiving an estimated bill, it means that the energy company doesn't even bill you for what you are consuming. They estimate that you could have consumed this amount of units, and then they charge you on that. The problem with that is that you might be paying too much or too little. And if you look at your electricity bill, you will see, if you are paying an estimated bill, you will see an E near the figures. That means estimate. If you actually reach your meter and give to your supplier, it means that you are receiving actual bill of what you are consuming. So it's very important to know this. And how this is calculated, because most of the time these companies make errors. They make a lot of errors and you end up paying a lot of money that you should have been paying. Some people, a lot of people don't know that just reducing your thermometer in your house by 1 degree centigrade can save you up to £100 a year. So these are little things that will come to people's houses. We have a list here that will stand around anybody who will be interested. We can also do telephone advice. So if you don't want us to turn up in your house, we can call you on the telephone and talk to you. And then any problems that you have, we can discuss that. So I'll just get Francis to talk briefly, and then we'll play the first video on the climate, and then the second 2 short videos around energy, energy savings. So, Francis.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Francis Langley, and I'm from Sierra Leone, like is Francis Nigba, like I said to you guys before. I do know quite a lot of faces here because I've been in Liverpool for about 24 years now. Yeah, like I said, I'm from Sierra Leone, but I class myself as African. And I've been around the Nigerians since I came to Liverpool. And this place used to be a very lovely place where we used to come and party and do quite a lot of stuff with young people. We're looking at environmental health and together for our planet. I've got underneath there. I'm just showing this today, so blending and being part of the Nigerian community and the celebration. So, one of the things that we do as black and ethnic minorities, I hate using that word, but unfortunately it's still out there, is the fact that we do not take active part, an active role in environmental health issue. We've got brew beans that we're using. Some of us don't actually use those beans correctly. If you go on the website of the councils, you will see them there. Exactly what goes in the bin and washing would be in the bin. I only became aware of environmental health because I went to John Moore University and did an environmental health degree. So since then, I've been to Sierra Leone. I'm actually helping them to do some recycling projects over there. I do quite a lot of disaster management, which we all know flooding in Africa is a big part. I think there's a problem in Nigeria right now regarding flooding. One of the issues with that is our mindset and our behavioral problems. Reason being is, when I was in Sierra Leone, what I saw quite a lot of people doing is drinking water from plastic and whatever, putting it on the floor. And what tends to happen is that goes into the gutters, blocks the gutters, and there's no way for the water to go. So we ourselves are responsible for some of the issues that are happening in our communities. I don't want to go too far into that because the video that we're going to play tells a little bit about it. But what we're saying is, let's try and be aware of recycling. If you see there, we've got eat less and dairy, eat less meat and dairy. Come on, I think we all need chop meat for this place, so. So whenever I see that, I have to laugh. Reduce your energy use, okay? If you're not in the bedroom, turn the light off. The only thing I will say do not turn off is your fridge, because we all know what happens when you turn the fridge off. But some of the systems in the house, we can turn it off. There's nothing wrong with that. We can put it on a timer. We can get a timer switch. It can go off and come back on. When I went to Sierra Leone for 5 weeks, and I tell you something, I appreciate Africa more now than I've ever done in my life. And like I said, I've been in Liverpool for 24 years. Because you go back home, we have got it all. But if we don't start educating ourselves and don't educate our people back home, what we're facing right now here is going to happen over there. Example, we're still burning rubbish over there, and it's killing a lot of people in Africa. That's one of the problems over there. The things that we're doing is municipal waste. We're not recycling. Everything goes in the bin. Everything. And you go to the waste places where they're burning this rubbish, you see all kind of rubbish there. I actually saw they were actually rearing pigs at this place. The pigs were eating the rubbish that was there, and they were killing the pigs and selling it to the market. So there's a trail there of why there's quite a lot of diseases in our countries. Let's try and educate our own people. We'll watch the video, and I will say a little bit about the energy saving awareness.
Global warming is a serious issue affecting our world today. Modern society has become a wasteful society, needlessly expending toxins into our air that contribute to climate change and environmental destruction. Coal-burning power plants and automobiles are the top 2 contributors to global warming. The weight of carbon dioxide pollution these 2 sources release are in the billions of tons. Here is some simple things that everyone can do in order to fight against and reduce the global warming phenomenon. There are lots of ways to stop global warming. Today I tell you best 9 of them. Number 9. Drive a fuel-efficient car. A car is the 2nd largest cause of global warming today. Not only the production of a car itself is wasteful, but the fuels, oil, and electricity needed is wasteful. In the end, the car will further produce waste through toxic emissions. Making the choice to drive a fuel-efficient car will aid the environment in less toxins, thereby reducing your carbon footprint. Number 8. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce your need to buy new products, resulting in a smaller amount of waste. Even if you need to buy, consider buying eco-friendly products. Reuse bottles, plastic containers, and other items bought at the grocery store. Reusing water bottles, yogurt cups, bread ties, and other items is being conscious about what is already out there. It will lessen having to purchase other items that would fulfill the same function. Try to use disposable products into some other form. Just don't throw them away. Number 7. Reduce fossil fuel use. Burning fossil fuels increases the levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. There are 2 ways to reduce fossil fuel use. Use less energy, or use alternative, non-polluting energy sources like solar and wind power. This translates to saving electricity by using energy-efficient appliances and compact fluorescent light bulbs. Number 6. Reduce waste. Landfills are the major contributor of methane and other greenhouse gases. When the waste is burned, it releases toxic gases in the atmosphere which result in global warming. Reusing and recycling old items can significantly reduce your carbon footprint, as it takes far less energy to recycle old items than to produce items from scratch. Number 5. Plant a tree. Planting trees can help much in reducing global warming than any other method. Because carbon dioxide is the most important greenhouse gas, planting trees and other plants can slow or stop global warming. Plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They use carbon to build their own tissues and return some of it to the soil in a process called sequestration. Deforestation of rainforests is a large contributor to global warming and CO2 emissions. Number 4. Drive less or carpool. By driving less, you are not only saving fuel but also helping in reducing global warming. Also, look out for other possibilities. For example, carpooling. If you have colleagues who live in the same area, then you can combine trips. If you need to go to a local market, then either walk or go by cycle. Number 3. Turn off electronic devices. Turn off electronic devices when you are moving out for a couple of days or more. Unnecessary usage of electronic appliances will not only save fuel, that is coal by which we get electricity, but also increase the lifetime of your gadgets. Number 2. Avoid products with lot of packaging. Just don't buy products with a lot of packaging. When you buy such products, you will end up in throwing the waste material in the garbage, which then will help in filling landfill sites and pollute the environment. Also, discourage others from buying such products. Number 1. Spread the awareness. Always try your best to educate people about global warming and its causes and after effects. Tell them how they can contribute their part by saving energy that will be good for the environment. Gather opportunities and establish programs that will help you to share information with friends, relatives, and neighbors. With technology within your fingertips, finding information about protecting the environment is everywhere.
Thanks everyone for watching that. Wise is looking for the video to put it on. What that doesn't tell us is, as we Africans, we do not invest in recycling and waste management. When I say we don't do that, quite a lot of us here have got the idea to actually do that in Africa, but we don't do it. There's a lot of money in that. A lot of money. The information is out there, but people won't tell us about it. I am not sure about the figures, so I don't want to give you the figures. But it's the last time I actually checked, for people that are actually getting like recycling plastics that was going from from Sierra Leone to Guinea, they were making close to about £200,000 a year. That is just one African country to the other. Can you imagine most of the stuff that are going to Africa? I think it's high time we start sending it back to get them recycled. So they don't tell us much about it. It's quite a lot of foreigners that are doing that kind of business in Africa. We've all seen the video. Does anyone have any question before we move to the next project about recycling and waste management? Let me talk to the young ones, because I think the older ones are shy.
My question is, how do we make money from the recycling?
How do you make money from the recycling?
Because in the US, if you have plastic like this, you can take it to a recycling center and make money for yourself.
Yeah.
But here, how do you do that?
In this country, recycling is monopolized. To the point where it's the bigger guns that have companies that are doing that. We're looking at now, not here. Let's look at this in Africa. We can educate our people in Africa. We can employ them. We can build up the economy. And we can also create awareness here among black people and ethnic minority about recycling.
What I'm trying to say, you have not answered my question. What I'm trying to say that, like if I've got this one in my house,
Yeah.
and I'm taking it to a center to make money for myself, we are encouraging others.
Yeah.
Now we're encouraging. But here it's not happening. And also in Africa, before you do that, you have to put something in place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
You put this one here, then you make money.
Yeah.
People will do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so how do we do that?
And that's exactly how I answered your question. That in this country, it's monopolized. It's the bigger guns that are doing that kind of work. In Africa, you can create the system by going to people's houses where they're not recycling. You educate them about it. What's happening in Sierra Leone at the moment, I went there 3 years ago. My dissertation was recycling and municipal waste in Sierra Leone. I introduced that into the system. It's not getting done at a wide scale, but it's happening. I went to the schools and I spoke to the schools, and the kids at the schools are doing more recycling than the adults. So I'm changing the mindset from the bottom right to the top, because now the kids are turning around to the parents, mom, dad, not also will you do at school. So now they've got it in their head. Our generation have got to the point where some of us are very careless. That's why now we're having quite a lot of problems. Behavioral change. That's what we're looking at. If you can change the mindset of one person, two people, we're getting there. You can look in Africa for us. We've lived in countries like this and we have got a different way of thinking. So use that different way of thinking and educate people and at the same time make money.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you, Mr. Francis and Mr. Francis. Can we put our hands together one more time for them? It seems like that's the name that is ready. Mr. Francis, Mr. Francis. Right, information is really key and it's important. And this is what we do here at the MCA. This is why we encourage as many people that can share. You could be the one that wants to share something with your community. Educate us on something that we're unaware of. Please feel free to get in touch with Mr. Ajakbe or Mr. David here or any of the trustees. We'll be sure to create a space whereby we'll invite individuals to come and learn a thing or two. I think this is what we need in this community, even at this particular time. So it doesn't matter what your expertise are. Please get in touch with us. We could do with your knowledge and whatever information that you have to share with your community. And like Daddy Ajakbe said, it's not just the Nigerian community, but it's across the African community here in Liverpool. We'll be sure to create that safe space where people can come together and be informed. Right, it's a general topic and a general discussion basically, and it's a question. It says, what is the purpose of the Nigerian Community Association?
What is the purpose of the Nigerian Community Association? I'm very saddened at the rate that Nigerians are emigrating into this country. When I came into this country in the 60s to study, everybody was struggling that you don't spend more than 5 years before you go back. But now, people are living, they are living Nigeria in such a way that I feel very sad. And we have so much in Nigeria. We have natural resources, we have brains. What are we doing? What is the Nigerian Community Association doing? Because all that they've been saying since it entered one ear and came out the other, because what I was expecting to hear is how are we going to improve that nation, a beautiful nation. I happened to live in so many countries because of my husband, who was an interpreter and used to travel a lot. And all my children spoke 5 languages. We lived in Togo. When you go to a Togolese home, whether it is a white Togolese married to a Togolese itself, they speak their mother tongue. What is wrong with us in Nigeria? Especially among the Yorubas. I'm very disappointed with all of them. Their children can't even speak Yoruba. I'm still even very proud of the Igbos because I've seen them. They speak their language. So what I expect us to do is how do we improve? How do we not emigrate into a nation where we are still second class or third class citizen? Thank you.
I said our lands shall be green. There will be peace in our hearts. As clean as this cake, that's how it will be clean. We will not stress over electricity. We will not stress over bills. You see? We will be united. Liverpool Nigerian Association will be united. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 2. Happy birthday, DJ. How are you for, man? Happy birthday, you go play now. To you. Happy birthday, dear Nigeria. Happy birthday to you. If you don't clap for me, you wish.
I better pack this thing. Camera.